So today in Arc Raiders, the expedition window did indeed open up, and you have to do a total of 100,000 damage. And if you're on your 4th expedition like myself, you'll have to deal 100,000 damage to get 5 different blueprints. And as you can see, I'm almost on 100k worth of damage after just a couple of hours of grinding. And right now I'm going to show you the best farming methods to easily get 100k expedition damage. Now, for my grind today, I won't be using any wolf packs or deadlines, but I will say one thing: if you have wolf packs or deadlines, bring them with you, as they're definitely going to benefit you so much. Wolf packs are going to be essential if you want to get the highest amount of damage when doing these raids. Now, bear in mind, today is the first day of the grind on the expedition, so everybody is out on the prowl trying to hunt as much arc to get as much damage as they can as quick as possible. So in my raids, just because I might get 10,000 damage or 20,000 damage or 30,000 damage in a raid, it might be completely different for you. So that's why I'm just going to give you the best events and the best rotations to go on throughout different maps, so you'll have a little bit better knowledge when you're grinding for your 100k damage in this expedition. So for my day of grinding, the boat weapons I'm going to be using is a Hullcracker 4 and also a Jupiter. The Jupiter can deal that damage when they're a little bit away, bringing whatever arc is at a distance a little bit closer to me. And we also then have the Hullcracker, as it's a solid weapon against heavier arc. And to start this one off, we're going to be doing a little bit of grinding on the close scrutiny event. I'm going to stay in for as long as possible, and I would recommend you do the same. Stay in for the full Try staying for the full 30 minutes, and you want to be just rotating towards the arc assessors. Once you rotate towards the arc assessors and you get in with a decent range, you're going to be able to take out a good few arc, but they will spawn in every couple of minutes. An arc assessor, a new arc assessor will come down, and while you're rotating to the next arc assessor, make sure you are taking down as much arc as possible. This event is really good. You can pull out anywhere from 10,000 damage, 15,000, even up to 20,000 damage if you are good enough. For the close scrutiny event, it really doesn't matter what map this is on, as once you're rotating towards every arc assessor and taking out as the arc as you go along, you will do some really good damage. Now, this is only a 30-minute raid, unlike some of the other events that we have coming up, which will be 40 minutes. In this raid that I'm in right now, there was a ton of people doing the exact same thing. I was actually surprised that I done that amount of damage that I actually did do. I ended up getting over 10,000 damage in our first raid. This was the first raid up to date to set the bar. So we got close enough to 11,000 damage here in our first run. Now in this event, it was actually hard enough to be able to fight Rocketeers and Vaporizers by myself, because there was just so many players in here hunting them as well to try and get that damage up. But later in the week, this might be a little bit different for you, and if you see this event pop up in the rotation, make sure you're doing it and hunt down any Vaporizers, Rocketeers, and make your way towards arc assessors to maximize that damage, taking out arc as you go on throughout the map. Now, the Vaporizer and the Rocketeer actually is a little bit lower damage compared to the likes of a Bastion and a Bombardier. A Bastion and a Bombardier, you're going to be pulling out around 5,000 worth of damage. I think it's around 2.5 for the Vaporizer and Rocketeer. Correct me in the comments if I am wrong. I think it's around 2.5. But for 30 minutes, we got just about 11,000 worth of damage in this raid, which was pretty decent to start the day off. Up next, we have one of my favorite events. We have the Hidden Bunker event on Spaceport. This is one of my favorite events for grinding out damage. It's so easy. But once again, because there was so much competition on this event right now, as this was the very start of the expedition, there was so much people in trying to do this similar rotation of killing Bastions and Bombardiers. But in the previous expedition, I done this run a little bit late, and I actually came out with close enough to 40,000 damage in one run. The good thing about this event, it goes on for a total of 40 minutes. For this event, you want to make your way down in Spaceport. You want to come down to the very back of the departure building. There's a couple of different spawns there at the very back of the departure building where the Bastions and the Bombardiers are going to keep spawning. Once you kill one, it will spawn, I think, between 5 to 10 minutes, and they'll keep spawning in around between fuel processing, fuel lines, and the departure building on Spaceport. But while you wait for them to spawn, I like to run back up towards the departure building with my Jupiter and just shoot at any arc that are in that area, building up that damage. I was lucky enough in the previous expedition to get a run on this event where there was up to 8 bastions and bombardiers, and I did get to kill all 8 of them to myself, bringing up to a total of 40,000 damage. It was insane. Now there definitely was a little bit of luck in that, because everyone else was going looting the buildings on the map, and they were also going to the towers to unlock the hidden bunker. You know, I was lucky enough to be able to kill every one of these bastions and bombardiers. It's going to be a little bit rough to be able to do something like that, but this is still a fantastic damage farm, the back of the departure building during the hidden bunker event, just constantly killing the bastions and bombardiers. And don't forget, rotate up towards the departure building to take out any arc in the area. So at the end of this run, even with this event being absolutely jammed with players and me not being able to solo one bastion or bombardier, I still done a total of 16,000 damage. Now up next we have the Queen and Matriarch raid. And now you would think that these would be the 2 best raids for getting the highest amount of damage, considering the Queen and the Matriarch have the highest amount of health in the game. But let me tell you, these 2 raids did not go well for me today. In the first raid, I started firing at the Matriarch, I turned around, fought one Rocketeer, and by the time I turned around to shoot the Matriarch, he was already dead. So I went in and tested again in the second raid. Now I will say one thing about this. A lot of people are going to be using all their resources early this week. So today is the first day of the expedition. You're going to have a total of 13 days to complete the 100k damage. So later on in the week, people might run out of their resources. So the Matriarch or the Queen mightn't be getting deadlined and hit with 100 wolf packs, so they're dead within the first 5 minutes as quick. So you might actually hop in and do a Queen or Matriarch raid and do a ton of damage, all dependent on what resources other players are bringing in to them raids. But I will tell you, my experience today of doing a Queen and Matriarch raid did not end well. I barely got over 5,000 damage in this raid here. So for the first couple of days, if you are doing a Queen or Matriarch raid, definitely bring in your deadlines and wolf packs, as that is how you're going to get the highest amount of damage in this event raid. Up next we have another 40-minute raid, which is going to be the locked gate event that will be on Blue Gate. Now the good thing about this event is it does go on for 40 minutes, giving you an extra little bit of time to be able to kill as much arc as possible. But how I like to do this on the Blue Gate map is I like to focus on around the checkpoint area. Stay in around checkpoint area, kind of up high on the mountainside, so you have a little bit of height. We're going to be taking down vaporizers, rocketeers, and not only that, but down in the checkpoint area there also can be a spawn of a bastion and a bombardier. Now sometimes they can spawn over at Raiders Refuge, but this time for me both of them spawned down at the checkpoint, so it was super easy for me to be able to farm them. Straight away off the bat in this lobby, we've done a good bit of damage to a Rocketeer, and we also get to take out a Bastion and a Bombardier. Now, because the both of them spawn down here in Checkpoint, I know that that's where they're going to spawn. So I can rotate all on the top side of Checkpoint in a little bit of a higher area where I can focus on other arc. That is the best way to do it, while also keeping an eye on the spawn of the Bastion and the Bombardier. Now, the good thing about the Locked Gate event is not everyone is coming in geared up like I am. So a lot of people are going to be coming into this event with just the basics really, because they want to actually do the Locked Gate event. But it actually has a really good spawn of Bastion and Bombardiers that you can rotate between, bringing you out a good amount of damage. You can actually pull out, I think you can get in around 8 spawns, if I'm in around 6 to 8 spawns of Bastions and Bombardiers here. And there actually is as well a Leaper spawn that can spawn over towards Ancient Fort that you can do a little bit of damage to. I know the Leapers don't bring out as much as the Bastions or Bombardiers, but it's still good to add in as well. As you can see, I'm just playing from the height here, doing as much damage to the Bombardier as I can with my good old Jupiter, making it super easy to fight. Because a new wipe is just around the corner, I really don't care if someone goes in and gets the resources. I just like to keep a little bit of distance when I'm fighting the Bombardiers. Even a little bit of cover as well does wonders. Once again, we got another Bastion spawn here as well. Now, one thing you want to watch out for is when the gates do open, there will be a chance of another Bastion spawning inside of the gates. So you want to get down and do as much damage to that Bastion as well. So after those 2 failed matriarch raids, we had a total of 35,000 damage. And in this raid, we ended it on over 61,000 damage. So that is between 26 and 27,000 damage done on this run alone. So that is the best events that you should be doing to get the highest amount of damage for the expedition. Now up next, I want to show you 2 maps that have some really good spawns against fighting against certain arcs. First, we have a buried city. So for a buried city, what you really want to be doing here is you want to be rotating between, sorry, let me pull up the map. You want to be rotating between this Marana Park area, parking garage and Marana Park, and also this little outskirts area and the side of library. They all have a spawn of a Bastion or a Bombardier. So how you would do it is, looking here at Plaza Rosa in this little center here, there's also a spawn of a Bastion or Bombardier here as well. So how you would do this is, depending on what side of the map you spawn, you would run to the closest spawn of the Bastion or the Bombardier. Then you would kill the Bastion or Bombardier in, say for example, outside Plaza Rosa. Make your way back over towards Marana Park. Now obviously you're going to be shooting whatever arc are in this area as you're making your way over, taking down flying arc, because you want to get as much damage as you can here. Make your way over towards Marana Park, parking garage, this area, looking for the Bastion or the Bombardier, taking them out. Don't forget, Rocketeers and Vaporizers also spawn on this map, so make sure you're shooting them as well if you do spot them. There is a couple of different spawns on this map for them, but rotating between these 2 areas here will get you the highest amount of damage on Buried City. As you can see, we've made our way over towards Hospital, and there actually is a spawn of a Bastion here, so we're going to take him out. As soon as we take him out, we're going to make our way back over towards Old Town, killing all the arc on the way, and we're going to go vice versa back and forth to do as much damage as we can. Now later on during the week, I will do a run on this map, a full run. It'll probably be a 30-minute video, and I will show you how exactly I do this to get the most amount of damage. Same with the next one, Riven Tides. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it on that map as well. So for this run on Buried City, we did a total of 24,000 damage. Pretty decent considering it actually isn't even an event, or it doesn't even go on for longer than 30 minutes. Not too bad. So up next we have Riven Tides, one of the most insane maps for farming damage. As you know, the spawn rate on arc on this map is absolutely insane. We've got Bastions, Bombardiers, Leapers, Rocketeers, Vaporizers, and the amount of flying arc that spawn on this map is absolutely madness. So it's all about really just getting a good position and shooting as much arc as you can. And for that, I like to sit just above this extraction on the hill and shoot at as much arc as I can. So by playing on Buried City and also Riven Tides and then a rotation of all these other events that I showed you, that's how I got over 100k damage done today. Super easy, it only took me a couple of hours. Now if you would like a more in-depth guide, please do write down in the comments. I will have a couple of more videos coming this week nonetheless. Some will be in regards to the expedition damage. But that is all for now. I hope these little bit of tips help you out while trying to get that 100k damage in the expedition. Also leave a comment down below if you are or are not doing this expedition. That's all for now, guys. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you in the next one.